Good morning, it's Cormac here from National Property Trade. Thank you very much for taking the time to have a quick look at this video blog. So you may have seen some other blogs that we have done where we get questions from vendors looking to sell their property quickly to National Property Trade. We have one here this morning from Mrs. Johnson in Portsmouth. Mrs. Johnson has asked, Dear National Property Trade, I currently have a tenant in my property for the next 4 months. Do you still buy a property when the tenants remain in the property? Mrs. Johnson, thank you for your question. Yes is the short answer, you'll be glad to know. At National Property Trade, we're very used to dealing with what we call problem properties, and properties with tenants often fall into this category. Tenants can, of course, create problems for many reasons. It can be simply that you're just not interested or bothered with dealing with them anymore in terms of managing their situation. Perhaps you're unable to do that for many reasons, and ultimately you just want to dispose of the property without having to vacate the tenant and manage that situation. So yes, at NPT we are more than willing to buy your property with the tenant still in situ. What we would do is we would either choose to keep the tenant in the property, or perhaps we may give them notice once we have bought the property. Now, if the tenant is not paying rent, sometimes you may be in a situation where you're in dispute with your tenant. Maybe the council is requesting that you do works, or maybe there's some kind of a court order due to the condition of the property. Maybe you're unable to carry out works that the tenant has requested and therefore they're not paying rent. I could go on. There could be many reasons why a tenanted property can just become a complete nightmare. We have been landlords ourselves for in excess of 10 years. We've come across every possible situation, and we do understand that tenants can be very difficult to manage when a dispute arises. So we have an in-house legal team at National Property Trade. We have qualified solicitors working from our offices, specifically dealing with what we call problem properties. So a tenanted property, even if it's a very extreme situation that you're facing, do get in touch, Mrs. Johnson. Ask for one of the telephone negotiators, Simon or Dan or Ray. Would be delighted to help you to discuss whatever it is, the issue in relation to your tenant. And of course, there may not be an issue. You may just want to sell the property, and of course that's absolutely fine as well. So in short, Mrs. Johnson, yes, we can and will be delighted to buy your property with the tenant still in situ. So do get in touch. Thank you.